So Margaret, you look after the sales on our Dairy Hygiene. So maybe what new products have we this year?
Well, we haven't really many new products this year. We have one, I suppose, a major one is a hoof guard. It's a kind of preventative hoof treatment. It's a powder, zinc oxide in water. So it's easily mixed. It doesn't sink to the bottom like some of the powders. You know, if you put in copper sulfate or any of those in, they usually sink. So you're not getting the dilution right. But again, it's more environmentally friendly, and it's more of a preventative rather than a cure. If you had problems in the yard, it's more of a preventative. It just hardens up the hoofs and just keeps them in good order for the winter.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we're just going on to hoof baths, we have our usual formaldehyde blend, which is and straight formaldehyde. And at this time of the year, we see a lot of them going. I suppose cows are in. Hoofs are softer, things like that. So that would be our major going at this time of the year, because most of the cows are dried off, so detergents are gone lower in volume. But there's still a lot of milk around. So
people are milking on with the milk price.
Milking on this year, yeah. I suppose going down through the year, our major seller would be our teat dips. We've some good teat dips. I suppose Supreme would be Jewel Dip Supreme would be our major seller. In the detergents, Purison chlorine-free liquid, and Purison the buckets of cold wash as well. They'd be very popular as well. And we've seen a big increase in peracetic acid this year as well. You know, last year it was mainly 25 litres. This year with a lot of 200-litre barrels of peracetic as well. And obviously the Jewel acid is stable as well.
So where are you seeing people using the peracetic acid?
I'd say there's a lot. I'd say a lot of cluster flushes. You know, our cluster cleanse. There's lots of cluster cleanse systems now, and they're using it there. I suppose with the not being able to use chlorus anymore, they're using it more as a sanitizer after milking, and maybe using the acid washed in maybe once or twice a week. So it's more as a sanitizer. We're seeing it being used.
Yeah.
So that's the main things this year. It's been a good year. I suppose it was a funny winter or a funny spring.
A difficult spring.
Difficult spring, yeah. I suppose we'd see a big increase in the use of better quality, I suppose, teat dips. You know, you can go cheap and cheerful, but better quality teat dips gets better results. You know, teeth condition and things like that. So, as a result, our Supreme would be one of our best sellers, which would be a better quality dip.
Right. So your line products then, your typical line products.
Yeah,
again?
we've stayed with this. We've stayed with the Old Faithfuls, which is Mastercal and Northstone. The Northstone would be just a straight bedding lime. It's non-hydrated. That would have its own customers all the time, and we sell a lot of it. But our biggest seller would be Mastercal, the 15% hydrated lime, which is a good lime. It's a white lime, and it's a nice lime to spread as well. It's light and it's not dusty. It's not. Now you wouldn't need to wear gloves and things like that. Obviously, with any hydrated lime, you'd need to wear gloves and a mask. But it's a nice lime, and we've seen a big increase in sales of that this year.
Right.
We've carried a bit of white rhino as well this year, just specifically for certain customers. And but our main two would be the Mastercal and the Northstone. Yeah.
And I suppose a key part of the service and what you're doing is quick turnaround time and that local prompt service to people.
Yeah, I mean we've a very good driver, and you know I'd say that's probably our big plus is that if someone is low, we get there as fast as we can. You know, we would prefer to have 2 or 3 days notice, but it doesn't always happen. You know, but like locally, it's prompt service. It's straight into the yards. The bags are taken off. They're put wherever they want, and like we have good. Logistics now, we've good trucks, so they can put them into narrow spots and things like that, which is handy, and like it's a personable service, like, you know.
Well, that's good. That's good. Very good. Look, thanks for your update on that.
Yeah, no bother.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So Tim, you look after all our deliveries
Yeah.
for Dairy Hygiene,
I
which
do.
is lime and chemicals and
Yeah, and
So-
steaks as well. Yeah.
yes. So I suppose look at the key to the service is you're dropping to the door. You're putting the items in where they belong to as well, which
Yeah,
is
as best I can. Yeah.
yeah.
Wherever I can. Yeah.
Good.
Some places are tight to get to, but you manage it all right.
You're
Find a backup solution or something.
yeah, you're familiar with the yards anyway. At
Yeah,
this stage
yeah,
as well.
that's the big help. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need the farmer there most of the time. You know exactly where a lot of the stuff is going.
Right.
But we'd say with the lime now, I do my best to get it in under cover, and if I can't do that, I'll do my best to cover it over and
Okay.
keep it dry as best I can. But the bags are waterproof anyway,
Okay.
which is a big help.
Yeah.
Or
So
weatherproof.
I suppose the backdrop here is the key is how we get those deliveries done. So
Yeah,
I
we've two
suppose last
trucks.
year we started with this small truck here. So what?
Yeah, this is a DAF LF45. It's a 12-ton truck. It's absolutely bulletproof. There's very little that goes wrong with it. As you can see, the crane is on the front. So it has its advantages, disadvantages. The advantages or disadvantage, I suppose, is you have to drive almost to the position you want to drop the bag.
Yes.
So because the crane is at the front. But the advantage is, of course, it's a lot more nimble and small and gets into tighter yards.
Yes.
It can take a payload of about, I think, 8 ton.
Okay.
Probably 6 or 7 probably be the maximum I go with it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lovely truck. It does its job. It's manual truck.
Yeah. So Tim, when we took over the business in 2023, we purchased this truck.
Yeah, the small truck came with the business.
Yeah.
So it was a big help. It was
So it
good to
is-
go straight away, as they say.
It's a lot of miles done and it owes us nothing in a way.
Yeah,
so
there's 636,000 kilometres done or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a brilliant little truck. Never gave any much trouble.
I suppose we made the decision to replace it before it let us down badly someday.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
when
And
it
a
gets
bigger-
going in the autumn, it gets whatever. So what do we get here?
We got a bigger Renault C250, which is a 250 horsepower, and we're going from 12 ton to 18 ton, so it has way more capacity. And of course, the obvious difference is the crane is at the back, which obviously means that's the advantage. You don't have to get right into where you're dropping the bags. It has an 8-meter reach
Okay.
at its furthest, and it can lift, I think it's 1.5 tons out at its furthest, which is plenty enough for us as our heaviest is 1 ton.
Yeah.
It'll take 10 ton, absolutely no problem at all.
Okay.
And this one was manual, and this is automatic, which is absolutely
All right.
a gift altogether.
Okay. So the grab at the back, is that handy or how do you find it? Or does it suit some yards, not some yards, or?
Yeah, as you can see there on the side, it's EVS, which means it's electronic vehicle stability crane. It's a safety feature in it, I suppose. It has to be. There's actually 2 levels here on either side, and they have to be bang on level. When you set up the crane, it has to be bang on level
Okay.
for the crane to work, or else it'll go into limp mode. But I have 2 pads there, so you can judge it, and you might have 2 pads under one leg, and then the other leg will be on the ground, and
Yes.
yeah, you can manage it right fairly well.
Right.
But yeah, it's a brilliant crane. I love it now.
Yeah. Took a bit of time to get used to it.
Yeah, small bit of time to get used to it, especially with the balancing and
Yeah.
because not every yard is level.
Mm.
But once I got the hang of it, geez, I wouldn't go back now.
Okay.
And I really find the crane at the back much better than the front, because you don't have to pull right up to where you're dropping the bag,
Yes.
which means you can keep out 10 or 15 feet at least,
Okay.
and it has a lovely reach in it.
So if we have a look at the cab inside there, if you open it up and sit
Yeah.
in,
Everything's done from here. They just flick it into gear and drive and
she's
reverse.
automatic.
Pure automatic, yeah, and just the two pedals. And
Okay.
it has a big advantage too. It has air suspension and things like that, so it levels itself with the load, and
Yeah.
I can
Comfortable drive,
drop
so.
the back of the crane or back of the truck as well when I'm unloading, which is a big help. So,
Tachograph.
yeah, tachograph on both of them. They're both identical. They're identical with every truck really.
Mm.
So the standard take your break after 4.5 hours and 45-minute break and
Right.
carry on then again. The standard.
And I suppose it was the residual value of the older truck. There was no point changing it.
No,
Or
and we
selling it
found
It would
they're
be useful the odd day we need
yeah,
it with someone
particularly
else.
there in October, roughly when the line kicks off. There's maybe a week or 2 there. You could have 2 trucks out on the road. We've another local guy here, Peter Cotter, and he's our backup service when we need him. He can we decide whichever one is easiest for either one of us to take, and we work it between the two of us.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so he's a big help, thank God.
Good. And say the forklift then, another piece of equipment that's used.
Yeah, the forklift is essential. You can't work without the forklift. It's a 3-ton Toyota forklift, diesel, and it does exactly what it says in the tin.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect, but you couldn't do without it, like for
Yeah.
unloading and loading.
And it's been reliable as well, hasn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the sensor and the seat gave up once, but it was a quick fix.
Yes.
The lights are perfect and everything there, and the night time and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a brilliant little forklift. Couldn't do without it.
So you have a van as well then, a transit van. So what
Yeah,
do you use
we've
that
a-
for, say, that you don't do with the truck?
Across during the summer then, when the lime would be, there's no lime really, you can deliver these 200 litre barrels.
Yeah.
We can deliver them with the van.
Yeah.
And we've Sin in here that we work out. He developed a crane in the back of it. It's brilliant, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
We can lift the barrels in and out with the crane, and it's super across the summer because you're not driving the truck out and you're not watching the tachograph, and
It's more economical.
yeah, and you're a lot faster getting to places and everything.
Yeah, great. So what radius are you doing here of our base? Typically,
My general thing is you draw a line from Galway to Dublin. We could be anywhere below that, but I suppose realistically we're Tipperary, Limerick, Cork, the odd one to Galway, then places like that,
Yeah.
Athlone.
yes.
Yeah, we've the odd journey into Wexford, but not as much anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, we draw a line from across the middle of the country, anywhere below that really.
Mm. And a lot of it is probably 1 hour radius
Yeah,
of here, I suppose,
yeah,
the
1
lion's
hour.
share of it is here.
Particularly the lime, you wouldn't go too far with it now because it's bulky and heavy.
Yes,
But the detergents, all right, you go a bit further with them, all right.
right.
But yeah, the lime is generally within 1 hour, 1 hour and a half radius from here. Yeah.
I suppose late last year was a very wet year.
Yeah.
September onwards it started raining, didn't stop for months after,
Yeah,
but this
yeah.
year was slightly different. How did you see the year going?
Yeah,
That?
last year I started drawing line the end of August, but this year it was well into October before we started going.
Mm.
And even there's only customers coming up now in the last week or two that would have been getting lime from September last year, so
Okay,
it's a huge difference to them,
Yeah.
the weather. And if we get a good spring at the back of it, they'll be delighted altogether.
they will, yeah. Yeah.
But,
Look,
no, it's a
farmers
big
need-
difference. All right, the weather this year was a big help.
Yeah. And I suppose you found too maybe farmers were, with the milk price, they were maybe ordering a bit more in their initial order as well.
Yeah. A lot of fellas got lime now to keep them going till January, where it was before they would only been maybe kept them going for maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks. But now they're going 2 months maybe.
Yeah.
Which is, that all depends on the weather and how they've fared throughout the year.
Okay. And say the dairy hygiene side, say on the chemical side then, say what has been the good seller?
The Purus and chlorine free would be our biggest seller of detergent. And the T-tips then would be, you have your Julep Supreme and your Julep would be our 2 biggest sellers.
Yeah.
And the D scales then, the nitric and phosphoric acid, the Julep D scale
Okay.
is a big seller too.
Yeah.
And of course we do 25, 200 and we do IBCs as well,
Okay.
of 1,000 litres.
Yeah.
So
And you're dropping, I suppose, machine oil as well and scraper
yeah,
oil.
we do scraper
vac-
oil
yeah.
and
Vacuum pump oil.
vacuum pump oil
yeah.
and milking machine oil.
Yes.
Yeah, so
So that's big.
they're in 20 litre drums then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, so look, Tim, thanks for the update on that.
no problem.
And
Perfect.
yeah, safe travelling.
Cheers, thank you.